You ready? Tonight, your life changes. You're not the same person that you were before you started. I know you're feeling the emotions, the nervousness, some doubts. To be in this room tonight amongst these amazing people just shows, as an entrepreneur, your tenacity. It shows your will. It shows your grit. It shows your determination and the belief in yourself. I remember being in you all's shoes 3 years ago, nervous, walking around, pacing, talking to myself. Take a deep breath, do what you need to do, go say a prayer. I did it a couple of times. You're prepared, you know your numbers, you know your story, you know your business, you know your audience. Be authentic. I want you all to know that you already won. As an entrepreneur, no one loses because you keep going. You only fail, you only lose when you stop. You deserve it. The time is now. Go for it.
This is the Miller School of Entrepreneurship's signature pitch competition. The Pirate Challenge is a 3-round competition for student entrepreneurs that serves 3 goals. Number 1, this is to create a culture of entrepreneurship across campus and to provide mentoring and experience for entrepreneurs in a low-risk environment. And finally, for the teams that participate today in this final round, it provides very needed funding to help their businesses grow. We're all here today because we believe that entrepreneurship is a tool that can positively impact our students and our communities. I'm thankful for each of you and your support for our student entrepreneurs. Why don't you give yourselves a round of applause for that support? Thank you. This competition started back in October, where 71 teams competed for a spot in the semifinals. Nearly 2,000 votes were cast from the student body, so a lot of people have already seen these great students' ideas. Teams were selected in a number of ways to move on to the semifinals. One was popular vote from those 2,000 from the student body. Another way that students moved forward to the semifinals was vote by professional judges. We have about 60 judges that volunteer to look through those applications, provide feedback, and select semifinalists. This year, we actually added a new pathway into the semifinals, which was through our ePassport program. ePassport is a badging system that allows students to stay engaged with entrepreneurship. So one of our students made it through to the semifinals from that ePassport program. The second round paired 7 of the remaining 12 teams with individual mentors. The mentors worked closely with the student teams since that round in February, guiding the teams towards success and preparing them for this final round. In addition to mentor selection, 2 teams were selected by popular vote, and I got to coach those 2 teams, which has been a lot of fun. I'd like to thank the mentors this year. If you guys don't mind standing when I call your name out, it's kind of hard to spot you all in the room. But thank you to Kate Wiggins. Kate, you're in here. I saw you. Tyler Lumley. Ben McCaffrey. April Kelly. And T. Steinberg. They've put in arguably as much work as anybody has in this room for the Pirate Entrepreneurship Challenge, and their experience meeting with their team and helping guide them forward has been invaluable, which is what makes every team a true winner today. So thank you all for your mentorship. The competition this year is going to award nearly $200,000 in prizes, which is the largest prize amount ever in the history of Pirate Entrepreneurship Challenge. This includes a $15,000 in cash for the first place winner, as well as a $15,000 optional equity investment from the Pirate Entrepreneurship or the Pirate Investment Fund. So that's $30,000 total for the winner of the challenge this year. In addition, there's $10,000 for the second place prize, $5,000 for the third place prize, and thanks to a gift from Rob Gluckman and family, $2,500 for the fourth place prize, $1,500 for 5th place, and this year the Crisp Center has sponsored the 6th and 7th place for $500 for each of those prizes, also making this the first year that every finalist will receive a cash prize in the Pirate Challenge. In addition, we've added a award that I've wanted to see added for a long time. This year, First National Bank has committed a $10,000 cash award called the Rural Community Impact Award. This can be awarded to any one of the 7 finalists, regardless of their placement order, and that is an additional $10,000 prize. All of this prize funding together makes the Pirate Entrepreneurship Challenge the largest pitch competition in North Carolina, one of the largest in the nation, and also one of the largest in the Southeast. So thank you to all the donors that made this happen. In addition to the cash prize, we have a very long list of donors that I would like to thank for in-kind prizes. This year, we also have an anonymous donor that has committed $10,000 in annual recurring funding. That was a 5-year commitment. So thank you to that anonymous donor. We also have this year support for in-kind services from Smith, Anderson, Blunt, Dorset, Mitchell, and Jernigan LLP that will help on the term sheet for the optional equity investment. That would have been expensive for the teams, and this allows them to receive that equity investment with no additional cost for that work. We also would like to thank Nucleus Uptown. They commit office space for the top 3 teams in a convenient location in downtown Greenville. Jenkins, Taylor, and Hunt offers intellectual property assistance for the top 3 placements in the challenge. Red Shark Digital assists with web development and branding. Riot Accelerator Program sets aside 2 places for their accelerator for participants in the Pirate Challenge in the semifinal round to be able to receive accelerator assistance. I'd like to also thank NC IDEA, who's represented here today, for their support. Michael Best, who is a longtime donor to the Pirate Challenge. They provide legal services. Kellerman Campbell for accounting services. I know I saw David here today. A new sponsor this year, Murphy Business. They've committed to help each one of the 7 finalists with valuation services, helping them set the value of the company, which is extremely valuable if you ever want to sell the company or if you ever want to bring on equity investment. Amazon Web Services provides a substantial amount of developer credits and Amazon Web Service credits for our finalists in the challenge. I'd also like to thank Radiate Prints, who provides branded apparel. I know I saw Taylor and Nick here. And Makerspace of Greenville for semifinalist membership to go in and try the Makerspace and develop those products, bring your imagination to life. And I saw Darby here, so thank you for your support. I know that's a lot. It probably just took 5 minutes just to thank all of the judges. And thank you again for your incredible support. I wish we could do more to thank you. And the students in the challenge really appreciate you making this happen. I'd also like to recognize the judges this evening. We have an esteemed panel of judges. Van Isley is here. So Van built and sold a company in the building supply industry. You might also recognize the Isley name because it is on the coolest building on campus, the Isley Innovation Hub. If you haven't stopped by the Isley Hub, got a cool makerspace in there and about 15,000 feet of space where you can bring your ideas to life. I would also like to thank Holly Day Arman. Holly's here on the end. She's the former managing director of the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship at the University of Maryland, and she's now the executive director of the Global Consortium of Entrepreneurship Centers. So she is a leader of what we do across the world in entrepreneurship. She trains the trainers who go out and teach the entrepreneurs. I'd like to thank, round of applause. Jamaris probably doesn't need an introduction because you saw him in the hype video getting started, but Jamaris Payton is a previous Pirate Entrepreneurship Challenge winner and co-owner of Carolina Chicken and Waffles, when they're now expanding to new locations. The business is going great. And he's also the co-founder of HBCU Wall Street. Thank you for being with us, Jamaris. We have Mark Wadowik with us today. Mark is the president and CEO of East Carolina Angels and the Pirate Entrepreneurship Fund. Mark is a leader in the angel investment world, and he's led university initiatives across the nation to increase angel investment to student and faculty startups. And we're pleased to have him here today bringing that experience. I'd like to also thank Ashby Tarkington. Ashby is a market executive at First National Bank. He's going to be our judge today for our special award, the Rural Community Impact Award. FNB is a leader in rural business lending, and we couldn't be more excited to partner on this initiative to award cash to those who are going to impact our communities in rural Eastern North Carolina. Thank you, Ashby. Without further ado, we're going to get started with this pitch competition. The first team up today is Talkative. Our format today is going to be a 5-minute pitch followed by a 3-minute individual question and answer session from the judges. I know you all probably have lots of questions too, but unfortunately we have to keep the questions just to the judges for sake of time.
I would like everybody in this room to close your eyes. Now imagine yourself sitting in a room much like this one, and somebody calls on you to answer a question. All of a sudden, you feel all eyes shift to you, and your heart starts racing. Your palms are starting to sweat, and you feel a lump rise in your throat. You know what you want to say, and you know the answer, but you're so anxious to speak, you can't get the words out. Now open your eyes. For the 3 million people who stutter in America, this is a daily occurrence. And to date, speech therapists do not have a systematic approach to address social anxiety. Hi, my name is Amber Faircloth, and my team's solution to this problem is Talkative. Talkative is a digital platform that offers realistic virtual environments for speech therapists to use to address social anxiety. This product is meant to be used with speech therapists, with their clients, to address the problem that they have. Talkative offers realistic virtual environments for our users. The journey begins by our users being immersed in the environment of their choosing. They'd be able to choose different settings, such as various speaking engagements, level of difficulty, as well as being engaged in various speaking situations and aspects, such as verbal and nonverbal feedback, time pressures, or environmental noises. Our solution is meant to be used within various treatment settings, allowing the speech therapist conversations with the user so they can engage and encourage that user to approach these high-stress situations with confidence, ultimately allowing them a chance to use their techniques in a real-life scenario. Key stakeholders share excitement in this product as well. We have interviewed over 30 speech therapists who have shared their excitement over this systematic approach to be able to use to address social anxiety with their clients. Talkative not only offers these virtual environments, but also a way for speech therapists to individualize their therapy approach with their clients in a way to clearly track data. My team is comprised of myself, Dr. Patrick Briley, Dr. Carlisle Rogers, and Vin McCaffrey. Vin McCaffrey is former CEO and founder of Game Plan. Dr. Carlisle Rogers is director of the ECU's Licensing and Commercialization Office. Dr. Patrick Briley and I are both licensed speech therapists who have served in the school systems and have worked with people who stutter. Both Vin McCaffrey and Dr. Carlisle Rogers have been chief mentors in our approach to market analytics and scalability. In the United States alone, there are approximately 200,000 speech therapists who are tasked with serving the 3 million people who stutter. In North Carolina alone, there are 100 counties representing 100 school districts. Within each school district, there are going to be speech therapists based throughout. It is expected that our field is going to grow by 19% over the next decade. Our go-to-market plan for this product is to sell this product to school districts at an annual subscription of $7,500. We have estimated a top-line revenue of $225,000 with estimated expenses of $217,000, giving us, within the first year, roughly $8,000 in profit. In year 2, we are expecting an increase in our customers with an anticipated 1-year acquisition of 30 customers, year 2 gaining 115 customers. The need today is capital to finalize and further the production of our virtual reality environments and to help bring our product to market. The Pirate Challenge has given our team the opportunity to present this product to gain that mentorship for market analytics. And I appreciate your time and the opportunity afforded today for my team to present this product. The success of my team here only means that we're going to be one step further in giving this product to speech therapists, serving people who stutter, to ultimately address social anxiety. Thank you. In our research about the sales cycle within the school systems, we know that EC directors and superintendents are going to have a hand in the allotment of the funding. And so when we go to sell this product to school systems, our approach is to not only reach the speech therapist so that they show the demand for this product, but also address the people who do allocate those funds. And so we have done our research and we have seen that across school districts, you're going to have an exceptional children's department who allocate the funds. And so that is our sales approach. We determined our pricing model by looking at our other competitors. So what do our competitors offer? What are we adding to that? We know that the price point of a fiscal year budget for a school system can handle the $7,500 annual fee because we know through experience, through literature, and through our market analysis, the budget that is typically going to come into a school system. We know what speech therapists are willing to pay for an annual subscription for an application. We know that we're only adding to that.
Your initial sales to go to?
Within our first year of sales, our target audience is going to be the school districts in North Carolina. We are local to here. We have the experience and the knowledge of these school systems. We have the connections. So if we can reach the 100 school districts, the 100 potential future customers of our product, then we know that we'll be able to scale greater in years 2 and 3.
Have you generated any interest from any of those schools thus far?
Yes. Through our customer interviews, we not only asked what speech therapists find that they are missing in their current treatment approaches, but we pitched a broad idea of our product. We pitched what we would be able to offer, and we do know that there is a market interest within Eastern North Carolina and Central North Carolina.
MVP? A wireframe, or what do you have?
So currently, our MVP is we do have a prototype. We do have a working model of our virtual environment that is based on an application that we are housing it in. The funding that we are asking for is only going to advance that virtual environment, providing more interactive features.
Hold this down off during.
Next up, we have Horizon Shield.
Oh, it works. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Jorge, and my technical partner is Jay Desai, and this is our product, Horizon Shield. Horizon Shield is a transformative new technology, that we have developed to revolutionize traffic safety. In an era of distracted driving, accident and fatality rates have increased year after year with no end in sight. However, traffic intersection safety technology has not improved to prevent such tragedies. We have had traffic lights and crosswalks around for over 60 years, but in today's day and age, these are not enough to ensure everybody's safety. Especially with everyone consistently distracted with their smartphones. Recognizing this problem, we have developed Horizon Shield, an innovative new technology that leverages modern artificial intelligence and 3D laser technology to predict and prevent accidents before they happen. Horizon Shield mounts directly to traffic infrastructure and leverages 3D laser technology to monitor an entire intersection in real time. Our system's algorithms then use AI to monitor the position and the velocity of every entity within an intersection. Horizon Shield can then use this information to predict accidents before they happen. All right. And our system will use physical sirens and smart alerts to warn pedestrians and drivers of an accident before it happens. And now my partner Max is going to show a quick video demonstration of what our device is able to see. So as you guys can see, that's the 3D laser picking up the points, and then our AI algorithms are able to actually distinguish what each group of points is. Thank you, Max. You're the best. All right. Our primary customer base for Horizon Shield consists of government entities. Local governments have a special incentive to safeguard the lives of their citizens. Our business has three main revenue models. The first revenue model being the bulk sale of our device to government entities. Secondly, we have a subscription base for our software and also device maintenance. And then thirdly, from the data collected from our device, we then will sell it to auto insurance companies so when an accident does occur, they can better understand what happened. Our government customers are dying to get their hands on our tech. In fact, Jay's in Kansas right now because we were invited to demo our tech to the U.S. Department of Commerce for exchange for significant development money. From our conversations with government entities, They have said that they are willing to spend up to $10,000 for our device per intersection. And for us, simply, that represents a 50% profit margin. There are over 6.3 million intersections within the 500 most populated areas of the United States, and that represents a $15 billion market potential. And if we were able to put our system in just the top 1% most dangerous intersections within North Carolina, that would represent a $21 million gross profit and an additional $5 million annually from our subscription profits. And that is a lot of money. We understand these are some big numbers, but our team is perfectly capable of pulling it off. With Jay's strong technical background and experience in securing multiple government fundings with past ventures, and my entrepreneurial spirit and skills in business development, we are the perfect team with our shared vision of pedestrian safety. We have already made significant traction in securing almost 20 government partners that are eager to buy our technology. And now it's just time for finishing up the development and then continuing with our go-to-market plan. And judges, that's where you come in. With the Pirate Entrepreneurship Challenge pool funding, we plan to develop our product, Horizon Shield, to the most perfect prototype. And with that prototype, we will then apply for merit-based U.S. Department of Transportation government funding. Goodness, sorry. and the money to develop our device and implement and start saving lives as soon as possible. We want to create an America where no loved ones are lost in a traffic intersection accident. With your help, we can achieve this goal and make the world a safer place. Thank you.
What does the competitive environment look like in this space, and what is ultimately going to differentiate you from others that are out there trying to do the same thing?
Yes, Mr. Isaac, great question. So currently there's some big universities and some big companies that are working on sort of like their ideas. Our competitive advantage is that we do all the technical in-house. My partner is very, very talented with a lot of technical work. And any feedback we get, we're currently working closely with the Department of Commerce, and we're able to go ahead and dive right into the technical fixes that we need to make.
If you look at an analogy of red light cameras, a lot of cities installed them, and now they're taking them out, even though they were a safety plus for the municipality. Why will this be different?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. Essentially, our product is anonymous, so it picks up not only pedestrians, but also the vehicles. So we can pick up anything on the side of the roads, and the main point is that our device can alert when a pedestrian or, say, a car is coming way too fast, and that's sort of the differentiation.
So how far will the funding from this competition get you? This seems like a long road from a technology standpoint. So talk a little bit more about that.
Yes, ma'am. So with the funding, we have to do a little more research and development within actually connecting our device to the DOT's traffic infrastructure, and that's mainly where this funding is going to be focused at, and as well as the ruggedization of the hardware around the technology.
Do you know where you would manufacture that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Currently, we're doing it out of my technical partner's house. So we have two devices now. So and then the NCDOT process is very, very 18 months long. So once we have more customers, we have our customer list, and once we get more orders, that is something we are going to focus more on. But we have been kind of with the Department of Commerce money. We are potentially looking at some real estate within Pitt County and as well as Lower South Wake County. Yep.
Can you talk a little bit more about the manufacturing cost and the time that it takes to do that? You mentioned that you have two already.
Yes, sir. So this one is the first model, and this one was actually just shy of $5,000. So it was like $8,999, and some change. And then the second model that we're showing to the Department of Commerce, that was $5,000 and some change. So that's why we're just around the $5,000 ballpark. And the hardware is outsourced, but every single bit of the software is in-house, and that's the special advantage. Okay, thank you.
Well, kids.
All right. At CrossFit Greenville Kids, we are empowering the youth in our rural community of Pitt County, one rep at a time. Now, I don't know if all of you have kids, but if you do, imagine your 12-year-old son or daughter coming home from a long day at school. Maybe there was some drama. Maybe they didn't do too hot on a test. They come home, have a lot of energy, and not much to do with it. That 12-year-old kid was me before I was introduced to CrossFit. The problem is that according to the AHA, 1/3 of the youth in America are obese. With childhood obesity, excessive screen times, and sedentary lifestyles becoming all too common, it is more important than ever for us to do something about it and provide an opportunity for the kids right here in town. We use science-backed programming and age-appropriate fitness classes, allowing children of all ages and abilities to thrive. We are changing the norm and providing a safe and welcoming environment for children to increase their fitness here with us in a professional place. Now, we don't just see our athletes coming in day after day remaining the same. We see a change in them in the way they carry themselves, in the way they feel about themselves, and also the way they treat others. People often ask me if there's ever any bullying in any of my classes, and I always say no, I don't know why. But I do know why, and that's because when children are being lifted up and encouraged, they don't want to tear others down. So it's not just about the fitness, it's about how the fitness can leak into every other area in their lives. Our market is children ages 4 to 12 within a 20-mile radius of Pitt County. We are very passionate about expanding our reach and not just working with one demographic, with working with kids who come from all different types of backgrounds and building diversity within our athletes. One way that we're going to do this is by our recent hire of a grant administrator. She is going to be actively providing or researching for scholarships so more athletes can come train with us on a regular basis. We are also connected with ACEs for Autism, where we are going to be working with them in their program for their athletes to train with us in a fitness class every month. I'm super excited to venture out into this new space and to work with all of their amazing athletes, strengthening social skills, and also just getting them out of their environment and doing something they're not used to do, and also feeling pretty strong. Our team consists of myself. I am the owner and I am the head coach of this business. We also have Coach Reese, and then we have our grant administrator, Sandy. Now, I'm very excited about connecting with Melissa Parks, who is the internship director here at ECU, because it's very important for me to give back to ECU students and provide opportunities for them right here in town. So we are actually going to be listing on Handshake this summer for a marketing intern and also a coaching intern. We would be nowhere without our community partners. One of my favorite parts about this business is connecting with other businesses in town. So one of my most recent is the ECU Childhood Development Center, where we're going to be coming in and teaching more of their preschool classes. They're looking into budgeting for us to come regularly in fall of 2024. And we also have Aces for Autism, Hope of Glory, Building Hope, and the Greenville Jackie Robinson League. All of these partnerships are going to help us expand our reach across Eastern North Carolina and not just remain right here in town. All right, all this is good, but let's dig into the finances. So if you would pull out your financial report that I passed out to all of you, you can see our mission and vision statement, but if you keep flipping, you will find our 2023 income statement. You will see that our 2023 income statement, I started this business in January of 2023, and we had $11,500 in sales. Now, you will also see our partnership expense, and this is one of the many perks of my business where I'm operating out of CrossFit Greenville, and 40% of our revenue goes to CrossFit Greenville to cover liability, insurance, and then also using their name, and we also get the space, which is great. Now, if you look to the right, you'll see our 2024 projections where we project to do $42,000 in sale. This is numbers off of our very successful first year and our first quarter of 2024. And that is a 400% revenue growth. So we're super excited for what's to come. And if you look again, you'll see our single member ownership projections. Now, I'm a realist. I don't think just all ideas can work. I know that this is a very successful business opportunity and it has so much room for growth. That being said, I know that it's not an immediate growth. I know we're in this for the long term. So our single member ownership projections tell us that we're not quite ready to venture out into our own space yet. What we have right now is working well. Now with growth and hopefully this challenge, we can make that sole venture even sooner. Today we are asking for $25,000. This will allow us to purchase kids equipment, marketing, our interns and salaries, continued education for our coaches and staff, and also our grant administrator. And I'm done. Perfect. Excited to hear your questions.
So with this partnership model, and congrats on already having revenue, why do you need to be renting? Were you renting the space at CrossFit? So tell me about why that's important and where you're going with that.
So how it started is I actually work at CrossFit Greenville, the gym, and I saw lots of kids sitting on their iPads on the couch, and I said, I don't like this, and I also am very passionate about kids fitness because that's how I got into CrossFit. So that's when I started training the clients and building this into a program to now we have 4 classes a week with 20 athletes. Now how this works with CrossFit Greenville is they receive 40% of our revenue. So that allows me to use the space, which is located right downtown Greenville, have all my liabilities and insurance covered. I get to use all of their equipment, and I also get to use their name. The CrossFit license as well is included.
There's a pretty substantial increase from 2023 to 2024 in your projections. What do you see as your biggest challenge in achieving those 2024 projected results?
Our biggest challenge is, number one, marketing, because probably a lot of you have kids and you've never heard of us, and I know that your kids would love our program. So actually getting people to know that we are existing and we're making children's lives much better and also helping them thrive is going to be huge for us, and I see that giving us exponential growth.
Have you thought about a contingency plan for a downturn in the economy? If you think back to the pandemic, that's a really good example we all lived through. Have you thought about expansion of products to online products, ways that people could reach you without having to be here physically?
Yes, so there are definitely a lot of ventures we could take with that, as of posting videos, building a YouTube channel, but also if something were like that to happen again, we want the children to love what they do so much in the gym. They can take this to the playground and do it on their own and maybe FaceTime a couple of their friends, or maybe we can put it on a Zoom for all of them, but we really want this to leak into their lives so that they don't always need us. So if something bad happens, then they know how to sustain this effort themselves.
To play off the last question and talk about FaceTime and videos, have you thought of using that as kind of a low expense way to reach other communities outside of Greenville?
So I haven't yet, but I love that idea, and I think that it could be a great opportunity for more children to learn about us, and also provide a happier side of YouTube, because unfortunately I know a lot of these kids are on YouTube, and if they can have a safe place to go and watch our videos wherever they are, I would love to be able to do that. So I think that's a great idea. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Next up, we have Palm Aquatics.
The marine repair industry is projected to generate over $35 billion by the end of 2024 in the US alone. Imagine the potential revenue of a mobile service on top of that.
Enter Palm Aquatics Mobile Fiberglass and Gel Coat Repair. We tackle all those dings and holes every single boat has, making the boating experience not only a fun one, but a safe one as well.
My name is Gage Palmer, owner-operator of Palm Aquatics Mobile Fiberglass and Gel Coat Repair, and this is my colleague Kim Kasner, manager over marketing. The problem we face in Eastern North Carolina is there are over 250,000 registered boats in our region alone. Every single boat is handmade, and even brand new boats sitting on the showroom floor just out of the factory have imperfections and flaws. Nonetheless, the boats that are used every single season and every summer. The solution that Palm Aquatics, in addition, these facilities in the region, there are only 9 and 0 of them are mobile. The solution that Palm Aquatics offers is a mobile fiberglass and gel coat repair company, which is faster. Most of our repairs can be completed within an 8-hour working day.
Our services are also more convenient as we are able to go to the customer or go to the dealership, meaning that there's not that barrier of having to wait and bring the boat to the marina or dealership.
We will also address the 9.7% unemployment rate in Eastern North Carolina. We have partnered with Beaufort County Community College and their boat building program. This program is tuition-free and cost-free to qualifying students in the region.
Our current market, as you can see right here, is Eastern North Carolina. That is 41 counties in total. Ever since we've gotten into business, we've had opportunities to work with 60 individual customers and forming a relationship with 4 dealerships and 2 marinas. In total, in Eastern North Carolina, there are 88 dealerships, 63 marinas, and 24 manufacturers. which leads us to the point that we're able to tackle those 250,000 registered boats. We're able to tackle these repairs only if we put more people into our team, which leads us to our rural development plan.
In our rural development plan, like I mentioned before, we've partnered with Beaufort Community College and their boat building program. Students in their last semester of studies will be given 3 days for a work-study program of their choosing. We have laid the foundation for this program with the Dean of Students and the lead instructor. In June 2024, we will begin to onboard students into our employment, into the fold of Palm Aquatics, and offer them a full-time position at the end of the year following end-of-year review over revenue and performance.
Our financials at the moment, we started this business in 2023, in June. And when we started, we had a revenue of approximately $47,000. In 2024,
in 2024, we're currently sitting at $17,000, and we're projected at $170,000 by the end of the year with an ROI of 51%. And this is with an additional employee. We will offer a full-time employment to these students. With myself and one of these students working alternating 3 days a week, we will be able to generate $16,000 a month.
We would also like to add that so right now in Eastern North Carolina, everybody that works in this industry gets about $16 an hour. We want to offer $18 an hour, making it more possible for those people to sustain a good life.
Exactly. And moving towards the future, we're going to sustain or continue to work at this relationship with the boat building program and grow to other nearby programs similar to this one and grow our network with dealerships, marinas, and our customers, which is why we're asking you, panel of judges, for $15,000 plus the $10,000 rural grant. That way we will be able to buy 2 more service vehicles, all the equipment, air, sanding, and painting, safety equipment to be able to fund our dreams and our passion in the marine industry and help our rural community.
Our ROI is suspected to be twofold, and we know that Palm Aquatics has a lot of untapped potential. We not only want to be the leading marine or mobile marine industry in this area, mobile repair industry in this area, but we also want to give those people that socioeconomic benefit and giving people a better life.
Good job. So quick question. You mentioned that currently you all are at around 17K, but you're projecting to be at 170K. Can you talk a little bit more about your thought process behind that?
Certainly. So currently I'm the sole technician for the business. I work at it 2 days a week. I'm a full-time student and a service manager at a dealership. And so you can see in the projections here, you can see a spike. Oh, right here. You can see the spike, and that's when we're gonna hire on an additional employee.
Yeah, so in June, so right now, Gage is the only one working on the boats, right? So in June, when we have that additional member, we'll be able to make that $16,000 together. Those two together will be making $16,000. And then after 3 months, once they finish their semester at the Beaufort County Community College, they will be a full-time position. And Gage is going to also be a full-time position. So the growth of the revenue that we'll be making will be growing after that period in the summer.
Yep. And we have plans to periodically grow the team on a basis of every quarter or so. And so in the cash flow charts, you can see that our revenue in 2025 will be over $300,000 because of that reason.
So you mentioned expansion, which is great, but have you thought about long-term expansion? Are you planning to just build this business and grow it with employees and geographically outward, or are you planning to franchise? Have you thought about the future, and what does that look like to you?
Yes, certainly. We have thought about the future because that's a huge possibility. There are many different avenues we can go. Right now, we want to focus on our rural environment in our community, and from there work outwards. If that means later down the road franchising, if that's the best financial route, we'll do that. But that when we get to that point, we'll need to obviously have the expertise to do that.
And our mission is community. So with an unemployment rate of 9.7% in this area, we need to tackle that first. And we also have 250,000 boats in the area. That's a lot of boats. We would have to have a lot of people working for us in order to expand further, which of course we want to do, but theoretically, this is what we want to tackle first.
This is a company that's not established in this market yet, of a mobile service of this kind. And so growth is exponential for this sort of company.
Like we mentioned at the beginning, there are only 9 set on people that do gel coat and fiberglass repairs, but 0 that are mobile. So there's so much growth potential.
Your financials look pretty impressive. I'm ready to invest.
Okay.
You mentioned that you're doing a lot of the work yourself. Have you placed a value on that and included that in these financials?
Yes. So every time that I quote someone, I include, or the cost of goods sold is roughly 40%. And so that, when you factor that into the income statement, those are our only expenses, labor and materials. That's basically, we have miscellaneous such as insurance and maintenance on vehicles, but we have no brick and mortar. We have no R&D. I mean, the cost of goods sold is fairly straightforward. And that's why you see so many other service-based businesses like lawn care or auto detailing, is because it's a profitable business. Just no one has thought of this.
Next up, we have Iuvo.
Boards.
I'd like to share with you the story of Mary Ann. Mary Ann is a 78-year-old woman who lives alone. She is independent and has no relatives who live close by. On top of her hand arthritis, Mary Ann also suffers from several chronic diseases, including hypertension, high cholesterol, and coronary artery disease, which requires her to take several medications daily. Recently, Mary Ann has noticed that managing her medication regimen has become a bit difficult. Not because she can't afford her medications, but rather the literal mechanism to opening her prescription bottles has become problematic. Let's review the facts. At least 60% of individuals aged 65 years and older take 3 or more medications daily. 16 million of these individuals struggle to open their own medication caps. All of this leads to medication non-adherence and potential hospitalizations. Think about that. My name is Diamond. I'm the CEO of Iuvo. Iuvo means to help, aid, or assist, which is exactly what our product aims to do. Our solution is iTwist, a universal pill bottle opener made to ease the process of adhering to medication regimens by providing a hassle-free mechanism to opening pill bottles and tracking health information. Now, we recognize there are other pill bottle openers already on the market, so what makes us unique? Well, iTwist offers 3 major competitive advantages. Number 1 is the ergonomic grip that minimizes forceful exertion and maximizes the natural grip of the hand using flexible silicone technology. Number 2 is convenience. iTwist can be detached and stored away when not in use. They're dishwasher safe, antibacterial, and come in multiple different colors. Number 3 are the plug and play inserts. These inserts slide into the top of the cap and can be used to easily identify the medications that is inside of the bottle. This simple yet effective technology will increase independence, quality of life, and decrease the stressors of dexterity challenges. This prototype was made in partnership with Flight Venture Center Hangar 6 and was paid for using funds from ECU at I-Corps. We are also working with Mr. Alan Parker, who is the Vice President of PAM Injection Molding in Kernersville, North Carolina. Mr. Parker is going to help us finalize any tooling requirements needed to finalize our molding before we do a production run. We've also filed a provisional patent back in the summer of 2023. Our go-to-market strategy is to start with independent pharmacies first, more specifically the distributors that they work with. We will use this initial data to further define our branded product before expanding to all pharmacies. To give you some perspective, there are nearly 2,000 pharmacies across North Carolina alone and 44,000 pharmacies across the United States. If we focus on Eastern North Carolina and have a 5% market penetration, we should be able to sell at least 6,123 units within our first year. We will use the revenue gain from our first 1,000 units to fund any further additional manufacturing. So with that being said, based on our cost analysis, one iTwist cap costs about $5.75 to create. We believe that we can sell one iTwist cap that fits majority of medication cap sizes, along with 5 plastic inserts of various different colors for $19.99. By marketing our product on Amazon, in independent pharmacies, and in retail stores, we have an estimated net profit projection of $65,000 within year 1. Our team currently consists of myself as the CEO. I work in the forensic pathology field. Next, we have Dr. Meredith Briley, who is a pharmacist, and Dr. Patrick Briley, who is a clinical researcher. They are both the inventors of iTwist. Our next step is to secure seed funding in the amount of $75,000 for startup costs to produce the mold, do a production run of 1,000 units, and attend the MedTrade Expo and Conference. This will give us the initial suppliers inventory to be able to work with and expand our network of distributors who will ultimately help us to put iTwist into the hands of consumers. We have talked to pharmacies, including CVS, Edwards, and O'Neill's about product placement. We have interviewed over 40 individuals who either had arthritis, were pharmacists, or took multiple daily medications, and they all vouch for iTwist, and so should you. With these funds, we'll be able to start implementing the mission of our company that will help to solve a practical problem that has hindered the independence of Marianne and all of those who cannot access their medications. This is iTwist. Thank you.
Thank you. So my questions are around problem and solution. You set this up that we have a problem with medication adherence. Do you have any clear evidence that the major pain point is opening the bottle?
Okay, so through our interviews that we have conducted among potential consumers, yes, we have had a lot of people who have told us that, yes, they have a problem with opening bottles, opening medication caps. Now, also looking in the literature through research, there is 125,000 deaths every year that occur due to medication non-adherence, linking that back, and some of that links back to not taking their medications, not being able to access that.
So you have a product that can be used with any bottles today, which is great, but there are other products on the marketplace. As you mentioned, you look on Amazon, you see many different ones. So being able to convince people you have something different could be difficult. Have you thought about working with the manufacturers to actually change the cap in a way that would be safe but easier to open instead of something additional on top of the bottle?
That's a great point that you make. I think that's a very great point to make. However, a lot of our interviews that we've done, we got a lot of questions that ask us, okay, what about my children? If it's so easy to open, what about my grandchildren, my children? Are they going to be able to access it? So based on our customer interviews, I don't think we would go that route, although, it's a good idea, but one advantage that we have with iTwist is that it can be detached and stored away when it's not in use.
You mentioned the cost of $575 per unit. Have you explored opportunities to bring that cost down even more and then ultimately translate that to a lower sale price?
Yes, sir, definitely. The prototypes that you see here today, they were created by Flight Venture Center Hangar 6. We have reached out to PAM Injection Molding Company, and so we're looking into injection molding. And so we would have to get a mold created that specifically goes to our caps, and that will cost around $40,000 to $70,000 just to create the mold, and that would be initial cost. But then after that, once the mold is created, they'll be able to spin out units like that. And so yes, once we increase our product size and our unit size 1,000 and greater, the cost will go down. We'll be able to offer it for a lower, or our cost for it will be lower.
So with your ask of the $75K, how many of those would you be able to purchase for your first batch?
Okay, so with the ask of $75,000, it would be between $1,000 and $5,000, and also including the mold, because the initial cost up front is going to be for the mold. And our mold is going to be, we're looking at doing an aluminum mold, which is on the lower side. Since our product is made of silicone, it's not going to be that much wear and tear on the mold at the manufacturing company. And so, yes.
Next up, we have Surf Stick.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Hello, my name is Garrison Miller and I'm the CFO.
My name is Will Jones, I'm the CEO. We are here today to pitch you Surf Stick. So a little background on surfing. In order to surf, you have to have wax on your board. Current surfboards come in an epoxy or fiberglass finish, which is very slippery in the water, which means you need wax every time you go out on your board. Which brings us to our pain points. We've identified a few pain points when surfing. Number one is melting. Surf wax has a very low melting temperature, which causes it to melt in your bag, it'll melt on the beach, it'll melt in your car, which will ruin your seats. Another pain point we have is sand in the wax. The poor packaging it comes in right now allows for sand to get in the wax, which when you apply to your board, it can cause micro scratches in the fiberglass and effectively ruin your board. And another thing about surf wax right now is the packaging comes in from sex wax, sticky bumps, Miss Palmer's, or food wax. It's not very eco-safe. It comes in saran wrap, which when caused into the ocean can cause a lot of harm to the wildlife.
That's why we created SurfStick. SurfStick is a heat-resistant, sand-protective container for surf wax, meaning if you use our container for wax, it will not melt. So if I leave it out on the beach in the direct sun, it's not going to melt. If I leave it in my car, it's not going to melt, which means it's not going to get over the seats, which is a expensive cost there. Also, it's sand-protective, so when you have the cap on the container, it's not going to get sand in it, and that prevents it from potentially damaging your board and possibly needing to buy a completely new board.
All right. So what makes SurfStick so special? First of all, it is very easily patentable. Due to the other processes of our other competitors, they cannot apply for any patents. But since our application process does allow that, we can file for utility patents. Because we've done extensive research into the patents, and ours is new, it is useful, it is non-obvious, and has strong independent claims that separate us from any other competitors. It is also the only innovation in its current industry, and the refillables in front of you are made out of paper, and so are the labels. After you're done with your SurfStick, you put that refillable back into your stick so the stick can be reused. And that paper is meant to be thrown away, but for some reason it's not. That will disintegrate in the ocean in just a couple of hours.
Let me tell you a little bit about our industry. So back in 2020, the industry was valued at about $4 billion, and it is expected to grow to $5.5 billion by 2028. So this is a growing industry. Over 400,000 surfboards are sold each and every single year, and that number is only growing. That's 400,000 new surfboards every year that need wax, and we would like to provide that. There are over 3.5 million surfers in this country alone that buy over 6 million bars of surf wax every single year. This is a huge market, and we would like to provide some of that wax to those surfers.
And to tell you a little more about us, like I said, my name is Will Jones. I've been surfing for just about a decade now, and I have taught kids, teens, and even some adults how to surf. So I've seen every surf wax possibility you can ever imagine.
And as I said, my name is Garrison Miller. I'm a finance major here with a minor in entrepreneurship. I'm a fourth generation entrepreneur in my family. I am on the exec clubs of the Entreprenuership Club and the Financial Management Association. Speaking on finance, I'd like to go over a little bit of our projections. Right now, we are currently in 25 stores, but if we get into 50 stores by the end of the year, we are projecting $45,000 in revenue. That is if we sell our sticks at $3 wholesale and our refills at $2. If we get into 100 stores, that's $90,000 in revenue. If we get into 200 stores, that's $180,000 in revenue. And there are over 9,000 surf shops in America alone.
Yes. So the progress we've made so far. We started our business about December of 2023. We became an LLC. We were able to get our hands on our UPC codes on our sticks, so it allows us to have a finalized product to be ready in the stores. Like you said, we are going to be in 25 stores, and we have a plan with iCores. The fund we got from completing their program allows us to go to Huntington Beach, which is in Huntington Beach, California, for Surfscape. Surfscape is the top trade show in America for surfing, with over the top 100 brands going to be there. And as of recently, we also have a plan to be on Amazon by the end of about next week.
Yes, if we were to have the opportunity to win this $15,000, we would use $6,000 for marketing, $5,000 for inventory, and $4,000 for legal fees, meaning sales agreements and patent paperwork. Thank you very much.
It's on now? Okay, thank you. I had a question about your price, about these cartridges. Like, how often does a surfer have to buy each of these things?
So it really depends on the temperature. What you have in front of you is warm wax. You can burn through that bar about 10 times. Oh, my bad, that's base coat. That applies once on your board, under your board. That needs to be replaced about every time the season changes, so once a season. But you have waxes like warm wax right there. That needs to be changed out probably like once every week or two, because the wax melts fast in the hot air. And cold wax is a little less frequently, but still, with the wetsuit boots, it'll chew the wax right off. So about every 2 weeks, pretty much.
But the container will last a while.
Yes, that container will, as long as you maintain it, it won't go away.
Okay.
You said that you're currently in 25 stores. Where are those stores located?
The majority of those stores are in North Carolina. We actually just went down to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach specifically, over past weekend. We talked with 5 stores. All of them agreed to hold our product, and we're setting up delivery dates for next month.
I assume they're all beach communities. Is that correct?
Yes, usually they're all mom and pop shops. We're working on getting into more chain shops, which is WRV, Burt's, Ron John's, but that's a little later down the line once we have some sales and revenue in these mom and pop shops.
So you did mention retail. Obviously, you're doing that now. You also mentioned online, but you didn't refer to that when you talked about your revenue projections. So look out 2025. Give me the split in revenue from retail versus online.
So to be honest, surf wax, it's not something most people buy ahead of time. Usually you kind of wake up and you're like, oh, I'm going to go surfing today. And you go and look in your surf wax box and you realize, oh, I'm out of wax. Can't really order that on Amazon and get that within, an hour. So they'll just usually run down to the local surf shop and buy it there. So the majority, I would say the vast majority, probably at least 90% of our sales will come from retail. We'd like to do online sales. We'd like to do that especially during like Christmas season or for birthdays. Parents might buy ahead and buy it for their children. But retail or online stores, online sales are not going to be a big factor in the amount of money we make.
Do you think y'all could potentially market it so that this refillable can change that mindset? Because it sounds like there's not a refillable product out there now.
Yes, we definitely we are working towards being able to sell online. We'd love to be able to sell online. And that's how we'll do it for wholesale. Most wholesale companies, like these surf shops, they will eventually order off of online to get our product. But also we could eventually possibly offer subscriptions so people could pay a certain fee each month, and then we send them a certain amount of wax depending on where they are in the country. So depending on the type of temperature it is, and we send them what they need.
And just to piggyback him, we are online. We do have a website, and our store is fully functional. It has been for about 2 months now. What? I started.
And up next, Limulus.
Hey everyone, did you receive one of the 13 billion COVID vaccinations given out during the pandemic? Or have you been a part of the 90% of hospital patients who received a medical injection? Or are you like myself and wear a medical device that allows me to be here in front of you today? Well, my name is Tyler Hodge, and this is my business partner, Peyton Cottrell, and we'd like to tell you how modern medicine is reliant on the Atlantic horseshoe crab.
The Atlantic horseshoe crab contains one of the most crucial components to our modern medical industry. In fact, the active component of the horseshoe crab's blood has been the standard in testing for sterility of medical devices and pharmaceutical products for decades now. The blood is the basis of a sterilization test which assures the safety of every injectable drug in the world. Since 1977, LAL, or Limulus amebocyte lysate, the active component of the horseshoe crab's blood, has been the foundation of proving the safety of medical injections, devices, vaccines, and IVs. Without this, millions of people each year would be susceptible to serious infection, which can lead to death. Yet this key resource is at risk.
Modern practices bring these horseshoe crabs in to withdraw 30% of their blood. To put it into perspective, how would you feel if you lost 30% of your blood? After they get what they need, they toss them back in the ocean, not caring how this actually affects them. This, in turn, is killing off the natural populations of this indispensable animal. It is estimated that 700,000 horseshoe crabs are taken from the eastern seaboard each year. This, in turn, is killing off, these unethical practices result in a 30% mortality rate. This leads to an insufficient and unsustainable supply of the valuable resource, while also devastating the population. Around the world, environmentalists have been pressuring the industry for a change.
Through persistence in research, funding, and prototyping, we have designed a recirculating aquaculture system to house horseshoe crabs to be bled sustainably by retrieving 10% instead of 30%. This allows for a stable year-round supply of the valuable resource. With these controlled environments, we are able to supply the crabs with greater nutrition, which allows for the utmost health. This solution provides a sustainable and ethical alternative to current practices. Our innovative method allows for a commercially sought-after product to be brought to market while maintaining substantial profit margins often associated with the medical industry, all while reducing the mortality rate from 30% to 0.
As of 2022, the LAL testing market was valued at $120 million, with expected growth to $380 million by the year 2030. These numbers rely on the horseshoe crab blood being priced at $60,000 a gallon. The industry is going to experience growth driven by increasing demand for medical testing, expansion of the biopharmaceutical sector, and new medical applications.
As in front of you, you have our profit and loss pro forma. As you can see, we are able to scale fairly quickly due to the high value of goods sold and low operating expenses. In year 5, we plan to house 2,000 crabs, which yields a gross revenue of $3.2 million annually, and which represents less than 2% of the total addressable market. In addition, our projected EBITDA is well over 30%, which attests to the lucrative business model.
Throughout our 2-year journey to where we are now, we have recently succeeded with our phase 1 proof of concept trial, which proves scalability. Within our years of research, our team was able to hold many horseshoe crabs in a captive environment with 0 mortality, while simultaneously proving the market. Recently, we were able to add Mr. Alan Bergenson to our advisory board, who is affiliated with Lonza Pharmaceuticals, which is the largest manufacturer of LAL. His presence within our company not only gives credibility, but also connections with industry leaders.
Limulus Biomedical, which is located just north of Beaufort in Carteret County, consists of myself, Peyton Cottrell, and my business partner, Tyler Hodge. I am a certified aquarist who works at a private aquarium and who has studied marine species for the past 4 years. While studying aquaculture, Tyler has been studying entrepreneurship with a minor in business administration. Besides ourselves, we have put together an advisory board that consists of a team of experts within the business, aquaculture, and biomedical sectors. As for the future, Tyler and I have decided to use 2024 to build capital and to expand our network. Funds received from grant opportunities will go towards achieving a number of milestones, such as the completion of proof of concept trials, FDA approval, and construction of a new facility, all of which will lead to the commercialization of our product.
As we have stated, the industry has pleaded for a new sustainable alternative. Without a doubt, aquaculture is the answer. This grant will help us introduce the first commercialized product of its class. Therefore, Limulus Biomedical holds the future of medicine.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Question for you as you look out into the distance. I know I've said this before, but from a business perspective and growth, you need to think about that. Is there anyone else out there that's looking to artificially synthesize LAL instead of harvesting?
Yeah, that is a great question, but at the same time, Alan Bergenson, which is the guy for, what is his?
He's our industry expert.
Right. He has told us that no contract laboratory in the world trusts anything but natural LAL, and the whole industry as a whole will not be going to an alternative or a synthetic version.
Just to add to that, synthetics will never be as good as LAL, nor will the industry ever trust them.
And another point to that is, since there's only a natural LAL being consumed, there used to be something called TAL, which is just a different species of horseshoe crab in Asia. Well, they overfished that, and now Japan, for example, is importing LAL from us. the United States. So this, that's pretty much it.
So it's a long road for you, like any biomedical, but you seem like you got the right team for it. But my question lies in exactly that. So what are going to be some of the barriers you think this solution are going to face, and how are you going to overcome those in the next 2 to 3 years?
So there would be two. So there would be the FDA regulations, which is black tape, but we have a plan to get through that by working with these huge biomedical companies like Lonza Pharmaceuticals to be able to help us get through that process, to be able to give them a sustainable supply.
With the public pressure that all these major companies have been getting, we really can't see why they would turn us away. I mean, yes, we are young, but this is why we added Alan to have our credibility. So.
Incredible job, teams. I wish there were more. The judges are going to take a little while to deliberate. They have some tough decisions to make, so don't expect them back until we make them come back. While judges are deliberating, feel free to grab a drink, feel free to grab some more food and network with each other. And we'll be back with announcements soon. All right, we have a tie for sixth place. And sixth place, each team that is in sixth place will receive $500 for that placement. And this year, we have a tie for second. The first team that we'd like to announce is Horizon Shield. On that side, yeah. Congratulations. There's also a lot of in-kind winnings that come with all of the placements this year. So I will be in touch with a lot of other information for in-kind winnings. Also tied for sixth place, we have Iudo. In fifth place this year, the fifth place winner also received both of our special awards, the Radiate Prints Award as well as the Red Shark Digital Award, which is $1,000 from Radiate Prints towards branded apparel, as well as the Red Shark Digital Award, which is a $5,000 award towards web development. The fifth place award also receives a $1,500 cash prize. That award will go to Surfstick. The fourth place award this year will receive $2,500 as their prize. And the fourth place award this year goes to CrossFit Greenville Kids. Our third place award will receive a $5,000 cash prize. And this year our third place will go to Talkative. This year, our second place award is a $10,000 award, and our second place winner also has won the Rural Community Impact Award, which means that is a grand total of $20,000. That award this year goes to Palm Aquatics. And do we have a big check? Okay. And it's no surprise because of process of elimination, but the grand prize winner with $15,000 cash award plus another $15,000 optional equity investment for a grand total of $30,000 goes to Limulus Biomedical. And if you'll look over at the stage, we have a very big check to give to the team. We'll do some more pictures after. Now, there's another award that is a competition between the deans of the colleges. This is the Pirate Cannon Award that we award every year, which is housed in the college of the winner for the year. The cannon has been sitting over in the Thomas Harriot College of Arts and Sciences for the last year. And Allison, if you could come up to present the award to the new dean who will receive it this year, which is Dr. Michael Harris in the College of Business. Wow, that was a great evening. I can't believe how good the pitches were this year. 100% excellent pitches for first place all the way to tied for sixth place. Let's give another round of applause for those participants. Teams, you all have tremendous potential, and I can't wait to see where entrepreneurship takes you and your businesses. I'd like to thank the judges today. I think they've dispersed. Maybe they're gathering something to eat. They're the judges. I'd like to thank you for taking your time and being so generous with that. You had some hard decisions to make, and we really appreciate it. Let's have another big round of applause for our judges. As well as another round of applause for our sponsors. That list was very long. And that's going to help a lot of businesses. Also, I'd like to say a special thank you to everyone in the Miller School who worked so hard to make this possible. The entire team pitches in on this event. So I don't want to name everyone, but there's one person who I would like to point out that this event would not happen without them, and that is Vicki Glover. Thank you for all your work, Vicki. I'd also like to thank Tim Madden, who's in the back, who live streamed this today. Tim is the coolest looking guy in the room in the DJ booth. And also thank you to Airmark for the wonderful food and for your time today. So thank you to the staff for Airmark. All right, I know you all are eager to congratulate the teams and take some pictures, so I'd like to thank all of you for attending, and I hope you'll be back next year to support our student entrepreneurs. Thank you.